Typically, at this point in the season, I like to go into the Crucible and test out a bunch of different builds, including weapons and exotics. And for this video specifically, I'm going to be reviewing and talking about the new Warlock Exotic leg armor that came with the season called Rain of Fire. But before we get into it, if you do need help with the Duality Dungeon and have not had the opportunity to complete it, I will be doing dungeon carries throughout the season live on Twitch, twitch.tv/ItsDaveTVGaming. Again, just go there whenever I'm streaming, and most of the time we are doing Duality Dungeons. I stream 3 times a week, so there's ample opportunity to get in there and I'll be able to help you out. And then also be sure to join my Discord. That link will be in the description. That is going to be the best way for us to communicate during the dungeon. We've done it no comms before. It's not awful, but again, having that extra communication always helps. All right, let's dive into it. Now, on how to obtain this exotic, again, I think we all know by this point, any new exotics come from doing Legendary and Master Lost sectors, having it be a random drop if you complete a solo. Again, you have a higher chance to get it if you complete it on Master, but again, if you get through more times on Legendary, I think people find that way more effective. It only took me like 2 or 3 runs to get this one versus other exotics that I was trying to get. It took me like, I think it was like over 15 tries for Caliban's hand, but again, just look at the Lost sector for the day and just make sure it has exotic leg armor as the reward. So let's talk about the Rain of Fire's exotic perk. Air dodge reloads all of your weapons and improves the airborne effectiveness of fusion rifles and linear fusion rifles, plus final blows with these weapons make you radiant. Again, this also provides a moderate benefit to the airborne effectiveness stat of fusion rifles and linear fusion rifles. Obviously, with all the in-air changes to PvP, if you're someone who likes rocking fusion rifles and Vex Mythoclast and stuff like that, potentially having the airborne effectiveness can be helpful. And if you don't know what Radiant is, again, Radiant, your weapons are enhanced by the power of the Traveler and deal increased damage to foes. So pretty much, if you get a kill with a fusion rifle, you automatically become Radiant, so you don't have to worry about using something like Ember of Torches, where you have to get a melee kill to get Radiant, or basically use any other type of way to become Radiant. You just need to get a kill with the fusion rifle. First up, let's talk about PvE. Now, obviously, being able to automatically have Radiant pop up on weapons is, something that's very fantastic. You don't need to use your melee on the Warlock or anything like that. You'll automatically get that boost. And obviously, pairing this with something like Vex Mythoclast helps out a lot because getting kills with this things very easily. And if you pair this up with the other solar fragments, such as Ember of Empyrean, again, any final blows extend Restoration Radiant. Again, if you do have Restoration proc, again, you can continue to have Restoration because Vex is a solar weapon. And then again, Ember of Solace, Radiant Restoration effects have an increased duration, so that helps out there a lot as well. And I'm gonna have a build coming out with the these boots and Vex Mythoclast, talking about how you can have a lot of damage pairing this with High Energy Fire, Fontamite, and Radiant, and basically having bonus damage constantly with Vex Mythoclast. And again, Vex is going to be the key thing here. Now again, in PvE in general, you can rock other fusion rifles, but in my opinion, being able to have a solar exotic fusion rifle that also, turns into a linear fusion after a while, again, being able to deal high damage with Vex Mythoclast in PvE is obviously going to be very helpful. And like I said, I will be coming out with a build for this. I have a couple different builds in mind that are going to be useful, outside the season, and some interesting ones that you can use in the season, so keep a lookout on the channel for those. But the main thing I do want to talk about with these boots is how well do they perform in something like PvP. Now, obviously, the 2 main hits here are being able to reload all your weapons just from doing an Icarus Dash, and then also having that increased airborne effectiveness with fusions and linear fusions. Personally, with all the interchanges, I really did not find myself, using something like Vex Mythoclast or anything like that in midair. You can use all fusion rifles if you wanted to have the highest chance to proc Radiant, so your weapons do more damage. But again, the only other primary fusion rifles, if you want to pair something with Vex Mythoclast, for example, is going to be Deliverance, or the new one you can get with the Crucible, Riptide, right? And those are both stasis. So I don't know, it was kind of weird. I did pair it with the shotgun. I played around with a couple other fusion rifles as well in the Crucible, and I just found that Vex Mythoclast does the best job, in my opinion, especially, like I said, pairing Ember of Empyrean and, having the longer Radiant Restoration effects, being able to continue that by getting kills with Vex Mythoclast, plus being able to have those linear fusion shots after 3 kills is absolutely disgusting to begin with. But the one thing here that really just felt really good to me is being able to have all my weapons reloaded when I do an Icarus Dash. Like, that felt so good. It felt like the Hunter dodge, right? You can dodge out of an engagement, get your weapons reloaded, and then re-engage fairly quickly, right? With this, again, you can always have a healing grenade, so you dodge, healing grenade, get back into the fight, your weapons are reloaded, all of them. I think having all your weapons reloaded is crazy. And I don't know, it just felt really good. I usually main something like Transversive Steps just so I can get that, you know, faster mobility and also reload my weapons on a sprint. But again, I feel like most people that rock, you know, Dawnblade with the Icarus Dash nowadays, being able, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where you get that increased boost if you like hit all your jump buttons right and all that stuff, being able to literally fly halfway across the map. But holy crap, I would compare these really with something like Transversive Steps. Again, Transversive is mostly passive. This one, you get, you know, the passive with the Icarus Dash dodging and reloading all of your weapons, and then also getting a kill with the fusion makes you radiant. And it's not just fusion rifles that are radiant. You can switch weapons and those other weapons get bonus damage as well. It's just initially you need to get a kill with a fusion rifle to make yourself become radiant, right? So I have a very good time with these boots. I'm switching these out with, you know, Transversive Steps very often, depending on my build, depending if I'm using fusion rifles, you know, depending if I'm even going to be using the solar subclass, because most of the time with the solar subclass, I am using these boots. Any other subclass, I'm like, not really. I want to be able to have radiant more often, and especially, and it pairs really well, obviously, with, you know, the solar 3.0 changes. Now, like I did mention, talking about potential, you know, builds and mods, you know, looking at just the seasonal artifacts, you know, Classy Restoration is going to help. Being able to, you know, do the Phoenix Dive, get Restoration, or basically just any class ability, right, and get Restoration ×2, and getting kills with Vex Smith class, Solar Weapon, you know, Ember of Empyrean kicks in. Again, those can last longer, they're extended, right? It can get crazy there. Also, something like Raise of Precision. Again, while you're Radiant, Solar Precision Final Blows cause combatants to ignite, so once you get a kill with Vex, all you have to do is get a headshot on an ad and everything explodes. Pairing that with something like Solar Fulmination increases damage and radius. And then also you have something like Flame Harvesting too for PvE. Solar Exotic Final Blows create Solar Elemental Wells. Again, it's so easy to create a Solar Elemental Well because it's already a Solar Exotic weapon. And again, you could pair other things with this. I'm just saying Vex a lot because there's a lot of synergy with it. And then also, like I talked about as well, being able to have very high damage with Vex Mythoclast and other fusion rifles, you know, pairing something, you know, having Charge of Light mods, either taking charge or where is it, quick charge. Again, if you rapidly defeat combatants with fusion and shotguns, you become Charge of Light. Pairing that with High Energy Fire for the bonus damage, pairing that with something like, you know, Font of Might for more bonus damage, and then having Radiant on top of that for more bonus damage. Like, there's some crazy stuff you can do with this, like even without the artifact mods like I talked about. So again, keep looking on the channel for some builds. Overall rating, I'm giving this exotic a 10 out of 10. In all honesty, I've been waiting for an exotic that has this exact thing on it. Right when I saw in Destiny 2 Year 1, when we had Icarus Dash, I'm like, we need an exotic that allows us to reload weapons when we dodge. And I'll tell you what, they finally dropped it after 5 freaking years, and it doesn't disappoint, especially if you're someone who likes using Vex or just fusion rifles in general. This can be extremely effective. Even if you aren't using fusion rifles and just want the inner dodge to reload all your weapons, the only thing you're missing out on is Radiant. Again, Radiant is just a bonus if you're using fusion rifles or linear fusion rifles, but still, this thing is just absolutely disgusting. I don't have any complaints about it. It's really well done. In any event, guys, that is my Reign of Fire review. Again, if you like what you saw, you can always like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that bell next to notifications so you don't miss out on another one of these videos. I do want to announce that I can officially get into the YouTube partner program again. After they had all those changes back in like 2015, 2016, again, I got kicked out because obviously having 300 subscribers on the channel is not going to do anything. And so everything got cut, no more ad revenue or anything. So I'm very happy to announce that I will be getting back into that. And like I did mention, if you do need help with the Duality Dungeon, again, follow me on Twitch, join the Discord. Every single link for that will be in the description. And anyway, guys, we hope to catch you in the next video. Shee!
Raid is an excellent motive. OC Captain, you have advanced. Double down. Strength in numbers, Guardian. Excellent. Double down. You're winning. Stay strong. strong. Enemy has zone advantage. You're almost there. Like a demon for these zones. Bring me your friends. I need more like you.